This has got to be one of the stupidest takes I've ever heard. The 2011 Miami Heat overachieved. But what else can you realistically expect? Not just from a LeBron fan, but from a YouTube channel named GOAT James Kingdom. I'm going to try and take this seriously. Even though it shouldn't be taken seriously, I'm going to try. Honestly, I just want to play LeBron saying not 5, not 6, not 7, and just call it a day. I really want to do that. It took me way too long to finally get to this channel, but as you can see, I've been sidetracked by quite a few clowns on the way here. Let's just get this one over with.
You know, I know UD was there,
Yep.
Joel Anthony was there.
Yep. Yeah, my first year, Big Z was there, and
Big
Eric
Z
Dampier.
and Eric Dampier.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you when it all changed. Obviously, my first year there, you know, played great basketball, got all the way to the finals, losing the finals. I played like shit. Spo is the reason why we were a better team and our team was more assembled properly.
Why do LeBron fans say LeBron never had a great coach? Eric Spoelstra would be an all-time great coach. Maybe not top 3 or 5, maybe not even 10. But he'll come up sooner or later. I've already done a video on this exact Mind the Game podcast, so I'm just going to stay away from that and just see what the main dude has to say. Because, I mean, LeBron didn't really say much of an explanation there. This dude just cuts him off right there.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom. On this episode, we're going to discuss how good were the Miami Heat in 2011. Were they truly title contenders from the inception of the Big Three? Now, we just heard LeBron James explain what happened in 2011 and explain the roster that was on the 2011 Miami Heat team, but his haters do not like his actual take. But like most of LeBron haters, they don't even know the history of the game, let alone the history of what they love to talk about, which is 2011 and LeBron James in the NBA Finals. But in all reality, this 2011 Miami Heat team actually overachieved. And I had this discussion on Friday Night Exposure with a few people on the panel.
So, the reason why I stopped this is just look at this stupid graphic. This is such a LeBron fan thing to do. So you're going to put up nothing but their points per game? Seriously, bro? Sergio Holmes? For a guy like Joel Anthony, why would that matter? That man is not there to score. Ever. He's there to rebound and defend, which he did a solid job of. It's just so obvious to us how biased you are. Like, can we seriously just stop for a second and really think of what it's like to be a LeBron fan for a second? Just to think of making a video like this. You shouldn't even be thinking this.
For you to even think, for you to even let some dumb shit like that creep up in your mind. What is wrong with you?
To actually, I'm gonna make a video on, the Heat overachieve. Just look at the Big Three. That's like 70 points from 3 people. How much do you expect these other guys to score? This is so obviously corny, man. Avatar, the last truth benders. You LeBron fans, man.
You're sick. So, see, something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
You have a problem and you should have yourself checked.
Yeah. Pay attention as I ask them about the expectations of other NBA teams to see if it falls in line with the 2011 Heat.
Okay, all right, and Mac, what about you? Is Boston a championship team? If they don't win it, that means they underachieved this year from the beginning of the season?
I had at the beginning of the season, I had Milwaukee winning it.
So, while asking about the Boston Celtics of this NBA season and the expectations of that team, someone brought up the Milwaukee Bucks, which I feel is a perfect comparison to the 2011 Miami Heat.
You mean to tell me there's people that actually respect this guy and this channel? when he's spewing nonsense like this? I'm not even going into great detail. I am making this video way too credible by even refuting it. In no way, shape, or form is this a great comparison. Damian Lillard is 33 years old at this point. He has never been anywhere near the defender that D Wade was. This is 29-year-old D Wade. Lillard's never even been to a defensive team. Brook Lopez is not a bad player, but he's also not as good as Bosh. And he's 35 years old at this point. Giannis, different story. He can compete with prime D Wade, prime LeBron. Sure, but that's one guy. The other two, stop it.
Chris Bosh, so dynamic this season, third in the league in scoring, fifth in the league in rebounding, second in minutes played. He is in the top 10 in field goal shooting percentage, and of course, Vince Carter early on, his franchise, and now it is Chris Bosh's.
And I say this because the expectations for the Milwaukee Bucks is super high after adding Damian Lillard to the team during the offseason. With an already proven champion like a Giannis and also Brook Lopez, there is no reason why anyone wouldn't have the Milwaukee Bucks as the NBA championship contenders from the beginning of the season. And as of right now, in April of 2024, no one thinks the Milwaukee Bucks will win the NBA championship, which was very similar to the Miami Heat in 2011. But this is a fact that most people won't accept about 2011.
Well, he's not lying about the Bucks. He's just severely lying about the Heat. Yeah, the Bucks are trash. They fell off. End of story. It got all the way up to plus 750.
750.
On the Heat side, it went all the way up to plus 300. That is 2.5 times better odds of winning it all. Just look at the fall off, really, from plus 200 to plus 300. That is not a crazy fall off. Plus, I can explain it. Long story short, the Heat were trash in the month of March, losing 6 out of 7 to begin the month of March. But they ended the season 15-3. They were definitely seen as, if not the favorite, one of the favorites.
But this is a fact that most people won't accept about 2011. Watch as I try to explain.
I asked you this, Mac. You said there's no difference. Milwaukee has championship experience. You said they're
no
supposed
comparison.
to be. How? How? Giannis is a MVP, Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and they just added Damian Lillard.
That's why they're not going to win.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that you said you gave them the expectations to be champions, right? But you don't think they're going to win it. So they would have been considered underachieved. So they supposed to have won a championship this year, first year team, correct?
No, I got the Milwaukee Bucks at the beginning of the season. So yeah, that is my team that I chose at the beginning of the season. If they don't win, then yeah, that's it. Yeah, then that's it. Then yeah, that's a failure. I was talking about the Boston Celtics.
Would that be the same as would that be? No, I'm just saying, because the difference between Boston Celtics, they don't have,
it's not the
they don't have a league MVP like LeBron. They don't have a league MVP like LeBron. They don't have the experienced champion like Dwayne Wade, right? But
there's no comparison to both teams.
The Bucks team. See, that's the reason that there's no for you to think that the Milwaukee Bucks or the Boston Celtics roster is not better than the 2011 Heat roster, you guys don't know basketball.
There's no comparison because...
And this is why.
I agree with him, but barely. Only because of Chris Middleton. And I can't cheat and use revisionist history, because Middleton, like literally, that was the beginning of him falling off. But at that time, sure, Middleton's definitely better than every single Heat member outside of the big three. But after that, Jay Crowder, Pat Connaughton, Bobby Portis, you can debate that they're better than Mike Miller, UD, Chalmers, House. Sure, but I mean, I think it's extremely debatable back that those guys are just as good, if not better. So it's literally because of Middleton. But hey, at least I agree with him on something.
And this is why GOAT James Kingdom exists. The way people are talking about the history of the game is all lies and based off of myths. The 2011 Miami Heat did not have a championship roster as it was constructed as of the 2010 offseason. In fact, the 2024 Milwaukee Bucks roster is actually better than the Miami Heat roster of 2011, where the Miami Heat roster had over 8 players on one-year deals.
I believe the term is birds of a feather. Man, both y'all lying. First off, you got LeBron lying, saying
We had to build our team around all minimum guys.
cap. You got this dude saying, oh yeah, 8 players signed one-year deals. You are lying. Not only did Mike Miller damn near shoot 50% from beyond the arc the previous year, he signed a 5-year, $25 million. Eddie Howe's multi-year deal, multi-pass. Another sharpshooter, James Jones, multi-year deal. Ilgauskas, multi-year. Joel Anthony, believe it or not, he got paid. Multi-year deal. And these are worth way more than the minimum, LeBron. Now here's the part that annoys me. He says they signed one-year deals. First off, you're lying. But 2, since when does the length of a contract determine how good or bad a player is? You ever heard of a damn franchise tag? Anyways, you look at a guy like Mario Chalmers, he didn't sign a one-year deal. He has 1 year left on his 3-year rookie contract. You look at a guy like Eric Dampier, kind of similar thing. He signed a monstrous ass contract with Dallas 6 years prior, so he's at the end of that big ass deal.
Don't that make you mad, right? You know it really make me mad.
Mike Bibby forfeited $6 million to go to the Heat. I mean, that's his choice. That's his fault. But now you got people saying 1-year deals and LeBron saying minimum guys. He left $6 million on the table on some Dennis Schroeder and then Udonis does the same thing, leaving $10 million on the table for the Mavs. By the way, another multi-year deal.
And the same way everybody feels about the Milwaukee Bucks today is what people felt about the Miami Heat in 2011. You guys always claim that we're liars and that we don't have any proof, but you know what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here, we will provide the predictions of the 2011 playoffs by the major outlets. As you can see, ESPN does not have the Miami Heat making the finals. Now here is Bleacher Report's prediction. This was done in April 11th of 2011, and they had the Lakers beating the Miami Heat. In fact, they were the very few that had the Heat actually making the finals, and then 2 weeks later, they decided to say that the Heat would actually win the finals versus the Los Angeles Lakers. But more predictions will show that the Miami Heat were not even going to make the NBA Finals by these NBA experts. In fact, they were talking more about the Lakers. Even notable sports writers like Mark Spears and Adrian Wojnarowski had the Lakers making the finals and winning the NBA Finals. There were very few people who thought at the end of 2011 season that the Miami Heat were actually going to win the NBA championship.
Thank you for actually proving my point for me. Like I just said, Miami fell off for a little week or two. Obviously, that's going to sway the media's mind. Like, I don't know about them anymore. But, like you said, then they picked them to win the finals. Yeah, because they finished the damn season 15-3. Also, you're not supposed to be showing anybody... You're not supposed to be showing anybody picking Miami to get to the finals and definitely not win the finals. You're supposed to be proving the media or whatever, Vegas, whatever, saying the Heat would not go to the finals, you know? Your video is called overachieving. So if the Heat in reality went to the finals, how the hell is getting to the finals overachieving? I'm not falling for that. You're changing the argument. The title of your clickbait video is, did the Miami Heat overachieve? That means I should not be able to provide hella sources and websites saying that the Heat would not just get to the finals, but win the finals, right? But I can.
This is why GOAT James Kingdom exists. The way people are talking about the history of the game is all lies and based off of myths. The 2011 Miami Heat did not have a championship roster as it was constructed as of the 2010 offseason. But like most of LeBron haters, they don't even know the history of the game, let alone the history of what they love to talk about, which is 2011 and LeBron James in the NBA Finals. But in all reality, this 2011 Miami Heat team actually overachieved. They were heavy favorites in the beginning of the season and at the end of the season, and even when they were going up against the Dallas Mavericks. This Miami Heat team was not a championship contending team. Even the Heat knew this. Everyone around this time understood that the Heat had a roster full of fill-ins, and all of this is due to the unrealistic expectations that people place on LeBron James. So in all, the 2011 Miami Heat did overachieve because they were not actually supposed to be in the NBA Finals. But Kobe Bryant is not held to the same standards that LeBron James is held to, which shows why LeBron James is the GOAT. Even the 2008 Boston Celtics did not have this type of expectation placed on them, with them having a better roster than the 2011 Heat. Here is a Bleacher Report pre-season prediction, and they don't have the Boston Celtics winning the NBA championship. Then when we go later on in the season, Bleacher Report has the same predictions, Boston Celtics, Suns Finals, but again, they don't have the Celtics winning the championship. And here are some more predictions for the 2008 season. And as you can see, the Boston Celtics were not expected to win the NBA championship as well. So when LeBron said that the Miami Heat roster was full of minimum players and that they needed to actually get more players the next year and change up their strategy for the next season for them to be successful, it is not a lie. It is the actual truth spoken by GOAT James.
Do I really need to play the not 5, not 6, not 7? That's what makes it worse. LeBron had no idea who was going to be on that team, insinuating it didn't matter who they had on the team as long as they have Wade and Bosh. The man said you could put Pat Riley on the wing. Pat Riley had silver hair. So if he thinks he could win with Pat Riley, I'm pretty sure he thought he could win with Mike Miller, Udonis, Chalmers, and Michael Bibby. That's why he said not 5, not 6, not 7. You cannot get out of that. Just like LeBron can't get out of that. Y'all could try. Nice try, I guess. You do realize you're also showing how Kobe overachieved by losing to the Celtics in 08? It shows the Suns and the Spurs. They weren't even expected to make it out of the West, apparently. But outside of that, any chance I could get to gloat about probably my favorite team of all time in all sports, the 2008 Celtics. I don't need to look this up. Who realistically won that series outside of the Big Four? An old-ass, big-headed-ass P.J. Brown, an old-ass Sam Cassell, a young-ass, spitting everywhere Glenn Big Baby Davis. James Posey was definitely older, solid 3-and-D guy. Tony Allen did not even play that much. Edgar Allan Leon Poe, who nobody cares about nor heard of, was getting major clutch buckets. I'm forgetting someone. Eddie House. Why could the Celtics win with Eddie House being like their main sixth man, seventh at worst? That man was getting hella minutes, hella clutch buckets. Look at the 24-point comeback. Eddie House scored 31 points against the Magic. Eddie House. Now, to be fair, Spoelstra gave Eddie House and James Jones a bunch of DNPs in the finals because they had Mike Miller. And Mike Miller was a starter his entire career, not a minimum guy. This is why me and plenty others say LeBron's fan base is the worst. You went out of your way to make up this magical story. They shocked the Miami Heat shocked the world. That's what you're implying? That's what you want us to try and believe and co-sign? Are you high?
But we also know you three kings came down here to win championships. Not one, championships.
Not two.
LeBron, tell us about that.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Hey, and when I say that, I really believe it.